Wow, guys, this episode was much better than I even expected. This is Dragon Ball Super episode 128 review. The Japanese titlement is Kirekai Hokori Saigo Made Vegeta Chiru, which translates as The Noble Pride to the End. Vegeta Falls. This episode, guys, is pretty dang good, I thought. I thought the storyline was much better than expected, and even though the main plot of this episode was kind of expected, the execution of this episode I thought was pretty good. Let me get into it. So we have Vegeta versus Jiren in this episode, and we also have Goku versus Jiren at the tail end. Again, that's pretty expected, but it was pretty hyped, I ain't gonna lie. Goku using Migate no Goku again, Ultra Instinct, and I'll get into that a little more later down this review. But let's talk about Vegeta first. So we have Vegeta in this episode, and he's fighting Jiren. Initially, he cannot power up to Super Saiyan Blue, so he attempts to use a Super Saiyan transformation, but nothing. We see some yellow aura, but then it fades away. Vegeta just does not have the stamina left. This makes sense because he just used a final explosion a few episodes ago. Now, the weird thing is that last episode he was able to use not only Super Saiyan Blue, but he is also able to use Super Saiyan beyond Super Saiyan Blue. So I thought that was really kind of strange that he had it last episode, but he does not have it this episode. I've seen some jokes around the internet, like some people even went as far as saying like, oh, because the plot, like it's because the plot armor doesn't apply here or whatever. I don't think of it that way. I think of it as Vegeta just hadn't, he had enough power left for, one final go around with beyond Super Saiyan Blue. But eventually he was overpowered, and yeah, I mean, even he rested up with the sacrifice of android number 17, Jinzo Ningen Junanago. I thought that Vegeta using his base form was pretty cool. We don't get to see Vegeta fighting in base form very much anymore. Usually it's some kind of transformation. So I do like the fact that they brought that out here. Now, in terms of Vegeta's fight, like the actual fight, it was a kind of a stale fight. Not too much was going on. Vegeta is kind of forced to use his martial arts abilities at this point because he has basically no power left. So he's trying for all kinds of punches, and Krillin even notes that Vegeta's punches have no power. And it's kind of a little cliche and a little bit weird that Jiren didn't throw him out sooner. But this is what villains usually do. And let me quickly talk about Jiren. So Jiren in this episode was portrayed more as a villain, I thought. It's kind of interesting. He keeps talking to Vegeta about how you can't trust anyone and that strength is absolute, and his usual shtick. But Vegeta is, he's written really good in this episode, and he responds to Jiren with, even though, you're an emotionless guy, you have no idea what it means to fight for something or to fight for someone. And I really respect Vegeta a lot for that. And even Jiren himself respects Vegeta as Jiren continues to pound on him. Pause. But but really, he continues to rock him with some combo shots, some gut punches and whatnot, and then eventually he actually punches him right in the eye and actually gives him a black eye. I don't think we've ever seen Vegeta with a black eye, which is, I guess it was cool. I guess I don't know what to say about that, but now some people may say that this is a recreation of the Kid Buu fight. I beg to differ, because at the end of this fight, Jiren actually manages to knock Vegeta into some rocks, but Vegeta's not out. There's one point in the episode where he's actually dangling off a rock, using his boot, his shoe, to cling on to the rock, and he's kind of unconscious, but just then he starts to hear the voice of Budama. Now, yes, guys, it's true that Hiromi Tsuru unfortunately passed away last November. For the hardcore fans out there, But she was still voiced by Hiromi Tsuru in this episode, but it is pre-recorded dialogue. There has already been a replacement for Bulma, so we'll talk about that more as the series progresses. But Vegeta here is the voice of Bulma, and that inspires him to get up. You know, it's pretty classic shonen type of kind of. It's not really tropes, but I mean, I guess you could say it kind of is. Let's be honest, guys. It's a little bit of a shonen trope, but that's what we love, and so I'm glad they put it in there. So Vegeta is inspired to keep fighting because of Bulma's voice. And interestingly enough, he tells Jiren that, you know, even if I don't win, it doesn't really matter as long as Universe 7 wins. So obviously he does care a lot for Universe 7. And Vegeta's character, I think it has been done to death, honestly. But here we get one final character moment for Vegeta, if you will. What I mean by this is Jiren knocks him out. He literally knocks him in the face so hard that he literally flies off the fighting stage. But before he does this, he first acknowledges the fact that he can't win. He cannot defeat Jiren. And then he actually cries, guys. Vegeta actually cries. And, you know, I have not seen Vegeta cry since all the way back since the Namek arc, when he was crying there. But there's a big difference between that scene and this scene, and it really shows Vegeta's character growth. You know, way back in Namek, Vegeta cried because he knew he could not defeat Frieza. You know, he wanted to be the dude to knock out Frieza, but he was ultimately disappointed because Goku was the one to, you know, become the legendary Super Saiyajin. But this scene in Dragon Ball Super, it's much different. Vegeta actually trusts Goku. He actually gives Goku his energy for once. And he's crying and he's thinking about Bulma and Kaba, and he's saying to himself that he's a damn fool, that he just couldn't do it. He cannot hack it. He cannot defeat Jiren. But ultimately he accepts the fact that he cannot defeat Jiren, and he trusts Goku to carry Universe 7 for them. I thought that was a really, really well executed scene. Probably one of the best character moments of Vegeta. I know it's a little bit cliche that Vegeta does not get the win over Jiren, but come on, the narrative for this entire tournament has been Migate no Gokui versus Jiren. That's been this entire setup. So, for Vegeta to pull out a win or something this late into the tournament, it would make no sense. But I do respect the fact that they gave Vegeta such a well-deserved farewell moment, if you will. And it's not only a farewell moment to Vegeta, but I feel like it's one of those farewell moments to the Dragon Ball franchise. Now, obviously, Dragon Ball, the franchise is not over. It's going to continue. But in terms of Dragon Ball Super, this is it. This is the final moment for Vegeta. And this was done really, really well. So after this, Goku receives some energy from Vegeta. It is actually enough to let him go Super Saiyan Blue just for a little while, which is really impressive. I didn't think that Vegeta had that much energy left, but he does. He gives Goku enough energy for Goku to go Super Saiyan Blue, and they have a standoff, and a pretty cool Sumitomo music playing in the background. Yeah, but this is definitely not enough. Super Saiyan Blue is not enough. He goes to fight Jiren, and he actually tries at one point to use Shunkan Ido. If you guys don't know what that is the instant transmission technique. He tries it once, but then from behind, he gets nailed by a huge elbow right to the gut, and that basically powers him down from Super Saiyan Blue to base form. Now, Goku's not the one to give up. We all know this. And Goku's in base form, and he still keeps trying anyway, just like Vegeta did. He keeps trying. We get some pretty solid action sequences with Goku fighting Jiren in base. He's even, I think at even one point, he actually blocks Jiren's attack with his elbow or with his arm. Even while he's in base. But I mean, it's pretty clear that Goku can't win no matter what. And even the gods of destruction, I'm talking about the other gods of destruction, Hakaishin, Rikuid, and Iwen, they comment on how Goku just can't win. His power is too small to fight Jiren. The power difference is way too large. It's pretty cool to see and hear those characters again, because we literally have gotten nothing out of the other gods of destruction like in a long time, so that's pretty cool. But Goku is getting rocked by Jiren's shots over and 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 over again. At one point, he jumps onto this other rock face, but Jiren quickly follows him and just keeps pounding this dude. Pause again. No, but really, Goku is being beaten and beaten senseless until at one point he's literally on the edge of the fighting stage and everything is about to go to hell. Jiren is about to knock off Goku. But suddenly, and this is a really actually, I thought it was a pretty cool scene, even though it's expected. We get this kind of scene where it's literally a recreation of the Battle of Gods movie, in where Goku sees everyone in flashbacks, and everyone's telling him basically in his mind to keep going, Son Goku and Goku, that kind of thing. And this is really cool from a writing perspective. Let me explain. So Jiren, like I said earlier in this review, is being portrayed kind of more like a villain, in that he trusts no one and he thinks that strength is absolute. But here you have Goku on the other hand, and he has complete trust in everyone, and he's much different, and so we kind of have this opposite effect. Goku versus Jiren, the final stare down, and I do like this. I really do like this. This is pretty cool. So Goku hears all his friends, even Frieza. He hears Frieza's voice, which is it's kind of weird, but cool, I guess. And I guess it does show the progression of Frieza in terms of character development, I would say. But that's not important. Goku hears everyone, and at the final flashback, he hears Vegeta's voice telling him, Kakarot, I leave everything up to you. And so at that moment, he does go Ultra Instinct again. This is freaking incredible. This is this kind of thing I've waited for. This is a moment that will be remembered forever. Goku goes Ultra Instinct, the that OST starts playing again. Goku, he literally, what happens here is Jiren, he goes in for a punch, but then Goku completely disappears and he teleports, almost like he teleported. Almost, it's like a instant transmission. He almost uses his instant transmission behind Jiren, but then Goku suddenly turns around, his eyes start glowing silver, and he transforms. And it's really cool. But that's not the end of the episode. Jiren goes in for some shots while Goku's in Ultra Instinct, but Goku dodges them all. And actually, at one point, Goku punches Jiren right in the gut so hard, in fact, that Jiren, for the first time, probably definitely in this tournament, he actually felt pain from a direct attack, and not just pain from a sneak attack like 17 did. No. Jiren actually felt pain from a direct attack, and this is really key. Now, Goku in Ultra Instinct, I don't see him winning here, but I gotta say a big but. In 2 weeks, because we have no episode next week, but in 2 weeks, episode 129, I'm sure you guys all heard the news. Goku is getting his completed, or I guess, quote, perfected, or mastered, if you will, Ultra Instinct form. It has silver hair. I will break this down in another video, but I think, here's the deal, guys. We have 2 minutes of this episode, of this tournament left after the end of this episode. right? And we have Goku and Frieza are still in. Here's what I think is going to happen. I'm going to predict this right now. This is going to be my episode 128 and beyond predictions. Goku and Jiren. Goku's going to use his fully powered Ultra Instinct against Jiren, and they're going to double eliminate themselves. Frieza wins. That's my prediction. Overall, excellent episode. Even though the story and from a narrative point of view wasn't that great, I guess, the execution was definitely there. I definitely felt the execution. Hype as hell. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in episode 129 in 2 weeks. Stay awesome, everyone, and have a good one.